Our mission is to establish solutions to poverty problems by rigorously testing out various options, various alternatives that we have for any given problem in terms of poverty. But the vision that we have is that with more evidence, there is less poverty. And this ties into what we think is the biggest problem in any developing country, is that there is very limited evidence on what really works. And so even in cases where we have some evidence, it is not being used. So our second mission is to kind of figure out what works, but then support policymakers and lobby policymakers to use the evidence that is available to kind of invest and put money in programs that are really beneficial and have the biggest impact to the population. And so we are coming to work together with Vision 2030 is just to realize that dream, that now that we are in the business of generating evidence on what programs work, yet we don't have the platform to move it to the next level. Will Vision 2030 be that platform, more so given the role that they play in terms of informing the next development agenda? So for us, this partnership kind of is the next level for us. We've been doing lots of research for the last 20 years, but all this research ends up on a desk somewhere or in a publication somewhere. And so this partnership will be the way to move away research from the desks, from the cupboards, from the journals, to the end users, the decision makers, the people who really then make decisions about what programs should the government be thinking about, which programs should the government be investing in. And this doesn't just end with the government, because there's so many other development agencies out there doing a lot of development work. But we realize over time that people are always using their gut feeling about what programs work, where should I put my money. We can change that scenario by providing the data, providing the evidence that, we've tested this in Kenya, we've tested in Bangladesh, we've tested in Uganda, Tanzania, and we know what works and what doesn't work. Can we now focus the investment? Can we focus our small resources to programs that really work? And that's what I think for me is the biggest win that is coming out of this collaboration between IPA as a research institution, but also a policy advocacy institution with Vision 2030 as a secretariat. So I'm looking forward to bigger events. I'm looking forward to bigger collaboration. And I think that the reverse of this is that working with the Vision 2030, we'll also know what gaps exist in terms of development areas, and then work together rather than coming in after the results of any research work is done. We'll come in at the beginning and talk together, work together, collaborate, and find out where do gaps exist, what can we help fill out in terms of what we do. And so I see as generating more useful information than coming from a theoretical feeling that this is what we should do. We want to come from a practical feeling, practical standpoint that this is what we need in Kenya in terms of development, and work towards that direction. So I'm very happy and delighted to see this happen. One is, I think in Kenya, as an institution, we have 5 critical sector areas that we've plunged into in terms of research work. We've done a lot of work in agriculture. We've done a lot of work in health, water and sanitation, microfinance and finance in general. And so we are bringing on the table all lessons from this research work that we've done over the last 20 years in Kenya and other countries in those 5 sector areas. But bigger than that, I think what we really are looking forward to working together is hosting joint events where we can discuss policy lessons from some of this research work, and get them to the county governments, as Professor Wainaina puts it, and then to other government ministries in terms of what would be feasible in terms of implementing, what lessons can be incorporated into the next thinking in terms of development agenda. So there is a lot of work in terms of research work that we might start several research projects together to understand and fill up the gaps that exist in the knowledge that is available, but also organize events where we can share the lessons and experiences from the different research work that we've done.